Hello, what's a crack a day, boys, and welcome back to part 3 of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Between episodes, I've put in the past to Brozbanye, and I've also put a wee education centre into here, which has our nursery and our school, which will educate people just before the university stage of their lives. Once they get to that, they'll have to take a bus into town and they'll get their university education there. So I did that between episodes. Also put in some trees, spruce the place up. So once we hit play, eventually that area will look smashing. So the other thing that I need to do is we ran out of rubles over the last episodes, so we need to loan it. Boom, 2 million more rubles loaned in from the Soviet Union. But that is us ready to start this episode, which we will be adding these two areas in, and we'll be putting the cooling towers around the nuclear power plant, getting all this area set up ready to receive workers. Take buses in from here to put workers into the power plant from here. We'll be putting a wee tunnel in for the entrance, and we'll be hooking everything up in here. What I'll be doing in this episode is we'll be trying to get a lot done, so I'll probably do a lot of cutting and editing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this area all set up, because there's going to be a lot of flattening in here, and there's going to stick in the tunnel, start getting all the stuff in about here, and I'll come back when that's been done. There we go, and with some movie magic, we're back. So what I've done is I flattened all this area out, I put in the roads, the entrance, I put in some car parks, got my bus stop, which is just going to be a drop off. Essentially, it'll be a drop off and pick off with people going in, and but you don't actually use the pickup function in this game. People only go to work and then they just evaporate into nothingness. They just fuck knows what happens to them at work. Whether they all go, the Soviet Republic has a 100% work case accident rate where everybody that goes to work dies. Fuck knows how, but they go to work and they didn't come back. So we don't care about taking them back. So it's just a drop off point. Drop off, they'll go to work. Happy days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this bit up here. I'll add a few houses, little bits and pieces around here. Nothing on this side, because this will be just a sheer cliff from the old town. So it'll be just a road coming along here. Maybe a few houses in that. Then we'll need to build this bridge back over to this area here. We will also need to add in a few pathways in about here, because I want to make sure that this bus stop can reach this node here, which it should do. It should reach that no bother at all. But if we take that along, to around this area, and then if we just take it straight to here, it doesn't want to do it because raisins. There we go. Building in the way. This is when I learned that I bunched these right up against each other. No, never. So it's fine. Just being awkward. There we go. That goes in there. Attach that to here. Those guys can go there as well. And now when I attach that to that bus stop, all of those the people get dropped off here can literally fill the needs of all these places. It's a lot of workers that need to come here, a lot. So we're going to have a lot of buses. All those buses we're going to put in a one-way system, so they're going to come in through this tunnel and they're going to go round one way and go out again. So it should be quite neat once we put it together. So take this road out of this tunnel now, along the side of this hill. Not too close to the hill though, or else it starts doing that. It starts tearing into the road. It looks shit. So there, and mess with it a bit to do that. Now, that should be pretty much flat in between there, which is good. That means that we can add in some. If we add in some houses, that's the furthest they can get. I don't think I want houses to be there then. But I suppose they can bus. We will add in houses. Anything that they can't reach, this bus stop will reach everything. So it reaches everything they can. So what will happen is if we put houses along this here, they will go to this bus stop, and basically, like I said, because nobody's getting carried back from work, they'll just get picked up and they can go into town for anything they need. So it's actually quite handy. We'll put down residential buildings, and we'll put down some of these flats, I think. Or can we put down something meatier? Maybe as like nuclear built prefabs, like when they built the plant, they put these buildings in, these things. I like the look of these things. These are nice big chunky bastards. There we go. So if we put in just a line of these, maybe as if they just built them when the plant arrived or was built. And we can also stick in maybe a couple of... Can we fit a tennis court in here? Of course we can. Of course we can. Not lined up properly, but we'll flip it around. And we'll stick one in there maybe. And one a little bit off at an angle there. And that should be smashing. So I'll pull that down. Connect it to the rod. Connect them two in the side. And connect that onto the road. Quality. I'll put some trees in this side. We won't put any trees around the plant. They'll be all taken down. But that's all connected up. We'll need to reconnect the power eventually. We'll need to add in power down here because this plant needs power to start up initially. But what I'll do is I'll hit play and I'll let that all build up as the game lags a wee bit because we've built quite a bit. So we won't wait for the cooling tower to build because that'll take forever. And we'll stick in our one-way system into here. So we'll have it coming through like that, along here. Don't need to do the whole road, but I'm just going to do it just for the arrows to make it look a little bit different. There and there. Cool. Might maybe cancel that one-way road just to there. Screw it. Just cancel it. Yeah, leave it there. That'll work. That means we can now get that our first bus line in. We can get that line in. If we can pretty much do that now, actually. So all we need is a depot, road depot. Just anywhere just now. It's basically just going to be our temporary one. We'll stick our main one in the city, and we'll delete this one. So we'll let that build up. And once we get our bus line in, then that'll start actually getting people in from the town of Brisbane in. But what we don't have is people. No one lives here. And that's a problem. We haven't pulled anyone in from the Soviet Union as immigrants, but we still have loads and loads of people in all these buildings all around the map. So I'm just going to relocate quite a few of them. People do relocate themselves, but it happens very slowly. So put them across there. Just relocate. Maybe one flat full of the now. Let that carry on, and that depot is built. So we'll stick in some buses. And what buses will we get? Probably the highest passenger count for this, because there's going to be a lot of people trafficking this. 52, 60, 40, 60. So these two, 50. So these two, Czechoslovakia or Soviet Union. I think we're going to have these blue buses. I think if I mind correctly, when I was watching Chernobyl, that looks pretty accurate. If we want to recreate the disaster, we need to get it accurate. So we just need to add a stop there, add a stop there, and copy stop to both of the trucks. Now, we would normally just take off the students and passengers, which we could do for the return journey, but we'll need to keep in for the coming back journey, because these flats here, if they can't reach anything, they'll need to come into the town to reach it. So we'll need to have it. So we'll just leave it on for both of them just now. It just means that there might be some students waiting here, but eventually what we'll do is we'll connect this node to the city, and we'll also connect this node to the city, so we will want students and passengers in both of them. So we can start both those kiddies up, and they'll head away once we unpause. And that is our first buses heading to the nuclear power plant. The other thing we'll need is a garage, petrol station, where somewhere in about this vicinity, maybe just stick out here at the edge of town. It's a nice realistic place for it, and the buses will easily travel to it. Lovely, 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 lovely. And now we should be able to check that they can reach that uranium conversion plant, which they can, which is brilliant. Lovely. So now we need to put a bridge in. Won't do much now, but eventually I'm going to want to start building on this side of the water. This plant is pretty much finished. I need to put in another cooling tower to actually make it functional. I'll do that as I'm building this bridge. I'll quickly build the bridge and cooling tower off camera, and then I'll come back in and I'll hook up all the power as well, because as we go to night you'll see that nobody has power, which is a problem. Also, another thing that I did was in the shopping centre, I'm going to delete the electronics because it costs us money to import them. We also don't have a TV station or radio station, so they're probably going to be picking up some capitalist propaganda over the airwaves, which we do not want them to do. So they will not get electronics until we can create our own propaganda. Or in our country, it's called just TV and radio waves, just normal TV channels, which they can watch in our country for free. So who's complaining? But what I'll do just now is I'll nip off again. I'll put in the cooling tower and I'll put in the bridge, and I'll be back. Right, there we go. So that's the cooling tower in, the bridge in, and I've hooked everything up to power, so everything's got power now. Whilst I was doing that, I just happened to notice that this processing plant doesn't reach that bus station, and I can't figure out how I made that mistake. It should reach that bus station, but it doesn't. And this isn't connected here for some reason, which we will do right now. But that processing plant not reaching that bus station is a problem. It does reach these flats down here, which we've got people in, so it is actually working at the moment. But it means that those flats there, those two, and this flat over here is literally the only thing that reaches this at the moment for workers, other than all the people that can come and park and drive here, and these two uses, which isn't ideal. I'd like it to reach this, which 300 is a long way to go for them to walk, which is unfortunate. So I might have to add in another bus station eventually. I might expand this town out here, but at the moment it's getting workers. It's producing away. So we'll leave it for just now. And if we do come to expand this town in Prospanie, we might be able to up the production of this. At the moment, though, it should be enough. It should be enough with just the people who are working in it just now. This power plant, processing plant here, it should be enough to feed this nuclear power plant, especially in the early days when we don't have enough workers to actually run it, which sounds like an absolutely brilliant thing to have an understaffed nuclear power plant. But hey, it looks like Chernobyl, so let's fucking try and beat it. But anyway, the next thing I want to do is sort out this power situation. Now, I haven't done this before. Well, I've done this before, but I haven't not optimized it, but I haven't tried it with the new power cables. Now you get new 18 megawatt ones, and if you put them down, you'll notice that they're fucking massive. Now, in the power plant I used to live next to, they had these massive fucking pylons coming at the back of it, but they only had two of them. Now, it wasn't nearly as big as this power plant, but what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to take every second one out, I think. And the idea is that, hopefully this works, is that these three I'm going to use to export power, and these two I'm going to use to basically power our country. And as our country gets bigger, we'll export less and less, essentially. But it means that we need to split these loops because you can do this in game. You can cross power lines, but that's crazy. You would have to do things with high voltage switches and everything like that. But anyway, I want to take these three to export off to the side of the map, so I'll need to find three different places. Really though, as well, I'll only need 10 megawatt lines for that. Oh, see, this is where I haven't thought this through now. You see what I'm saying? Because out of the back of that power plant, we can pull 18 watts, but we can only sell 10 megawatts. So we could actually combine them and split them more than 3 times to sell it. I think for aesthetics though, what we're going to do is we're going to stick a high voltage switch here, one here, one here, one here, right, and one alongside it here. We're going to pull those high voltage power cables or pylons up the hill to each of these. I was actually off, but never read. There and there. What I might do as well is I might play time while I'm doing this, because it's easier to line all this up and do all this while the time is playing, I think. Also allows people to start actually making uranium. Now that looks pretty fucking cool, in my opinion. Per Barharad. It's going to have a lot of buzzing next to it, but too bad. So now what we can do is we can pull these guys away off to the side. And what I'll do is I'll just take the first one. What will I do? Take the first one along to here. Oh, tell me that. Take the lines across to it, and then we'll take this to export. Now, where can we export power to? Right along to Sejov, which we will. We'll take it along to there. Or actually, no, we won't. No, we won't. Either. Oh, Panadin. Where else can we? So we can take some from there. Oh, from there. So what's this? 10 20, 30, 40 megawatts. That's plenty anyway. I think I only want to sell 30 just now anyway. For the time being, to get all this up and running, I'm going to take 15 megawatt cables along the side of this river. Angle a connection to sharp. Take along the side of this river. Where are we going? Set off over there. We'll just go straight over the hill because that is how they build power cables. You don't usually, well, at least the high voltage ones, you just fly right across wherever you're going. So at least we can export 10 megawatts, and that's a decent amount of electricity to export just now. So I'm going to leave that at that just now. Got a few engineers and workers there. Don't have anybody in here though, because we don't have any oxide. Now we've got 0.83 of a ton in that. We've got 0.14 there. We'll just tell them to go to their next stops. Drop off just a little bit of uranium oxide just to get them going. And what we'll do is we'll just move out, relocate some more of our hard workers into the places that we actually need them. So at the moment you're not going to get any happiness in that city, I can assure you that. So move them out. Pretty much filling up the place. Can they reach? Yeah, they can reach all of them. I was worried there, I miscalculated how far for these guys to walk if they could reach everywhere else, but they can, so it's all good. Now all our workers will have babies, and hence why we have the nursery and that, and we'll grow the population of our country through that means. We've got about 10,000 people. We'll probably, not very long has passed yet, but you'll see people start to escape because on the rest of the map they're not getting any of their needs met. But hopefully we start seeing our number of children, number of babies increasing, and we can actually not only keep a self-sustaining resource economy up, we can also keep a population sustained through births and all that. That's the other goal, to create a good country for the population of the Soviet Republic. There we go. So that's quite a lot of workers moved in now, so we should be starting to see a lot of more people coming in. And they can reach the bus station, that's all good. Oh, you can actually see them all flood into the, holy shit, flood into the bus station. We actually need to add in another bus. Where's that? Where are our buses? There. Cool. Copy schedule to that and tell him to go. Now, this was another thing that was added last patch, is the ability to see your lines. This game, I've adored this game since it's come out in early access. Played it a lot. One of the most frustrating things is if you want to change a bus line, you have to go and find every bastard bus on that line and move them to another place or get them to do another thing. Holy shit, not fun. Not fun at all. But luckily now, that's pretty much fixed. You can go to your lines now and it's quite a nice quality of life change. There we go. So, now that we've got some actual uranium oxide in here, we are creating UF6 atoms. They won't be coming in here yet until we get about, I think it's 0.5 tons of it, which I'm not sure if that actually means ton. Well, it will mean tons, but we produce 0.96 tons of it. Yeah, so once this reaches about 0.5, it'll transfer over into the next factory. It has to reach a threshold that won't just put in 0.01 into the next factory. It'll get to a certain point and then it'll flick over. But that's that setup. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we'll let this build up. We'll let their nuclear power plant come and kick in, and then we'll actually start be able to make some money. Now, if we go into our import of resources, you'll see everything that we're spending money on, everything that we're importing to run our country. If we go to last month, you can see because we're building stuff, we spent an absolute shit ton on everything. Steel, just absolutely mental. This month we haven't built anything in the last few days. I've just been speaking here, and the imports are a lot slower. So probably if we left it running just for a month, just straight, we're probably not spending a lot on anything. The power that we're importing is hardly. I think we're only importing 5 megawatts, so that's just ticking away. Now, once we get the export of power going on, we should actually probably make money, and that'll be great for us. That means that we can not take out as many loans. But I'll need to take another loan out just now, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to start on our cap haul. And I think what we'll do initially is I'm going to put a transport system in, and I'm going to put a university in. What I love doing at the start of this game is getting a full power system ready and getting a full education system ready. If you don't get your education system ready, what happens is anybody that's born in your country will go to school, because you'll build schools pretty much everywhere. They'll go to school, they'll get educated, they'll go to work, everything's hunky-dory. But what you'll notice is a lot of these places need engineers, and if you don't have universities and don't have ways for your populace to educate up, then essentially what happens is it'll stagnate. You won't have enough engineers anymore, and you'll have to continuously relocate people and import immigrants, or invite immigrants. Invite for 5,000 rubles from the Soviet Union for that. So that's what we don't want to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a train station in, and this train station will basically be the transport around our capital. We'll probably have trains going around. I haven't tried the trolley buses yet, so we might give the trolley buses a try in certain places in this capital, and we'll put in the university. The university will probably go in this area. That way, anybody off the train will basically be linked to it. When we loop anything around this city, if your population needs higher education, if they go out and look for it, they won't go to the next stop, but they will eventually get to the university and they'll all reach it. It also means that when we add in the bus stop from here, from Brospania in, they can also go in for their university education as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip off camera. I'm going to flatten this area, put in the train station, put in the university, and I'll come back then. There we go. So what I've done is flatten this all out, put in my first train station down here, and I'm going to put in the university. So although you've seen me flatten the bejesus out of everything, we needed a big flat area for this, and you'll see I do like keeping a little bit of verticality in my towns and cities. We didn't just pick we didn't pick a map with already hills and trees and loads of towns on it for nothing. I want to keep some aspects of it, so I'm going to put the university over here, because every school and university I've ever been to has never had a good view at the back of it. So this one is going to be just looking right into the arse of that hill, no seeing piss all but trees and a fucking hill. which I think is pretty accurate. So that's what they'll be seeing through all their classes. What I put a couple of these university halls or residences in as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think these currently work as intended at the moment. What I mean by that is, what I think they're meant to do is when you grow massive, like basically when you grow to the size of this map, you don't want to have 20 universities. You just want to have a couple. So I think what these halls of residences are meant to do is once you're, or what it says they're meant to do if you go into the help and that, is when your citizens get to the point that they need higher education, they will automatically move to the residences to then go on to do their university education. Now, I haven't seen that work yet. I've never seen actually anybody go into these, but we will build them anyway. Well, not in case, but basically for future proofing, so that when they do eventually add the patch or whatever, we'll be ready for it. So adding a couple of halls of residences there, and there. Terrible placement for them. You'll hear about all the stories about them looking in from out their window and straight into the window of the other dorms. Crazy shit going on in them. But that's not our problem. We're just here to build a glorious country, not manage fucking frat parties and that. So, now that we've got the university settled in, we'll also be putting in some of the roads and stuff. Now, what we're going to have with the train line, or what my plan is with the train line, is basically have it loop round the capital. So come up through here, loop around here. We're going to stretch the capital right into these hills, and we're going to loop it around the train, come back across. We'll probably have one bridge across here, maybe one bridge across here, idea, and then on this side of the water, we might have a big industrial complex, which those trains can then carry people across into them. On this side of the river, there's a lot of good like stone quarries. There's the iron mine I was speaking about in the first episode or second episode up there, so we can pull down and have steel mills, or we can have all different aspects of stuff. It also means that we'll have train lines over here as well, which we then can connect into. Later down the line, we might want a food train coming down here that drops off food into a hub outside the city and drops all the food into the different places. So it adds in a train line that we can then use after it. At the moment, though, in this capital, you can see what I've been doing with all the paths. Now, I've only done it up halfway. Off camera, I'll finish the rest of it. What that means, though, is I can't really touch most of that. I'll need to build roads basically out from this side where I'm not messing about in it. So if I take that, or is it better to take the train lines in first, maybe? If we take the train lines first to here, up to here, there we go, and then we stick in our road. We'll want a bus station around this area. What we might do is we might stick the bus station in close to the church. Although they've got access to a kirk up there, we'll also want them to, if some of these guys can't, they'll have an option to come to the kirk in here. Now, I think I said this in the second episode, in a communist, historically in the Soviet Union and that, I think they basically shunned the church, and they tried not letting people go to church essentially. So it's probably a little bit ahistorical letting them go to church through our ideologies, but if they're there, I say we should let them go. So that bus station should allow them to reach this Kirk, reach this, and it'll also give a good hub for all our buses heading out to the plan. What I'll probably do as well is off camera I'll add in a road network to all these buildings and up to here, and then in the next episode we will be just focusing on putting everything down for this capital. For the now as well, I'm going to rename this to Petrograd. Petrograd. There we go. Petrograd. Because that's what I name it. If you want to name it anything else, chuck it in the comments and we'll switch the name. But that's what it's going to be at the moment. Next episode we'll stick in all the things that this city will need, because it'll need everything. We'll put in a big shopping centre for it. We'll do all that jazz. But I'm going to have to wrap up this episode now. And let's see, is that connected? We aren't selling any electricity now. But everything around this area is all ready to go. So in the next episode we will be making power and building in Petrograd. So, like I say, I'll wrap this up now. Thank you very much for watching. If you can like and subscribe this video, I'll be fucking appreciative. Absolutely appreciative if you did that. Be ecstatic. Be the best thing in my life now. So, if you like and subscribe, I'll catch you later. Have a good day.